Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cape Time, and we are here to review episode 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I may be making a bold statement here, not really sure how other people feel, but I think this is the best episode of the series. Tom, what do you think?
Uh, Let me think. Let me think. Well, first, yeah, I can definitely say I can say that because I think it's the right balance between action and character.
I mean, I
So
think the character building in this episode was phenomenal, but I guess we can just start from the beginning and just the opening scene already, like just that kind of tells you what kind of episode this is gonna be. They open up with Bucky and Wakanda, and they're basically testing to see if the what's it called, the Winter
the
Soldier,
code words
the code
that
words, the
yeah
right
that
word,
set him
yes,
off.
yes, to see if they still work, and you can just see the pure pain and fear he has as he's saying the words, and then just the relief that follows when he sees that it's no longer having that effect. And it was a really powerful moment, honestly. It just really makes you think. Imagine going through that like Bucky did for as long as he did. There really is something that people might overlook, honestly, until you see a moment like that.
Yeah, he's been through the ringer for sure. So it is pretty nice to see him triumph over those words for the first. I think it's for the first time, and he finally
Yeah.
breaks through. And it's 6 years before the show, so that is. But so the crazy thing is that that's probably around April or early May of right before Infinity War, because Infinity War takes place in May. So he really didn't get much time to live on his own. So uh, live on his own and not be, under code words with those code words under the spell of those code words, I guess you can say. So,
Mhm.
uh,
Well, the reality is when you're living with something like that, you're not going to live in a normal society because it takes one person that finds out about this to set you off and have you freaking terrorize an entire city. I mean, you have to live away when you're in that kind of scenario, and that's probably part of why he was in Wakanda. He wanted to just get away from everything after everything he's been through, and it's hard to blame him, honestly. I mean, like you said, the dude has been through the ringer, and to see him come through that the way he did is really awesome. But he actually was not the focus of the episode, though it did touch on him a bit. The big focus of this episode was John Walker, and say what you want about the character. Yeah, people hate him, but you're supposed to hate him. That's the point.
yes, that's the intention.
But I'm gonna be honest, I don't just hate him. I actually feel bad to an extent. Like they do a good job of like also building sympathy for the character because the expectations of being Captain America are so great, and you can see that how that's the toll it takes on him, and how even he acknowledges, I got these medals of honor, but how much do they really mean? Because what our actions, they were necessary. That doesn't mean they were honorable, and that's the big difference there. And the dialogue too. I mean, they really nailed everything in this episode to me.
Yeah, obviously Walker is one of those characters that everyone seems to hate on, and nobody seems to realize that that's the point. Um, because he's this control hungry kind of kind of character. He's obsessed with being in control of these big superhero situations,
And I
and
get
he
it.
and
I
he's
do
the one
get it.
he's the one guy who doesn't have any powers besides Sam, and
Hmm.
he's supposed to be the opposite of Sam and Captain and Steve Rogers. So they they're opposites. Sam knows how to handle these situations. And it's very clear that John doesn't.
I mean,
John.
just look at the whole situation with Carly. Sam is doing the smart thing. He's trying to talk her down. It was working, and they were having a really deep conversation. They were connecting, and then John Walker, being a hothead, decides to walk in and tell her, "You're under arrest. You're done. Game over." And we all saw how that went. And that whole situation. That's how Steve would have handled it too, just trying to talk her down. And he would understand that she's a person too, with at least in her heart she thinks she's doing the right thing. So there is room to potentially help her out there, but Walker wanted none of it.
So like, I think this is one of the best characters in the MCU, John Walker. I
Yeah,
do, because
he's
like
awesome.
he's not. There is like this middle gray area in which he operates, and like he's not
He's
Steve
not pure
Rogers.
evil. He's not
He's
pure
not
evil.
pure. He's actually a
Yeah.
pretty decent guy outside of all the superhero stuff.
Mhm.
But the superhero stuff has driven him insane. Can you imagine? You're supposed to be like the leader of all these superheroes, and you're the one guy who doesn't have any powers. You're the one guy
Yeah.
who you're the guy that gets your ass handed to you consistently by these superheroes because you don't have any powers. You just have a shield. The
Exactly.
uh what are the Wakandan soldiers' names? The name of
Oh my God. It starts with a D.
not their actual name. The name
It
of
starts with a D.
the the name of their army is what I'm trying to say. Uh, I'm just gonna say the Wakandan army.
Yeah, just make it
I'm
simple.
so sorry for forgetting. I'm so sorry. I feel like an ass, but I forgot. My bad. Uh, they kicked his ass. They kicked his ass. Let's be honest. So like he's been consistently getting his ass kicked throughout the entire show. And like that's gotta take a toll on you because you're supposed to be Captain America. And Captain America very rarely got his ass kicked.
Yeah, the reality is, yeah, aside from, like you said, we've talked about the high moral standards of being Captain America. You can't deny the physicality of that kind of role you have to bring too. I mean, he can't just be a decent soldier. He needs to be the best soldier. He needs to be able to fight with superpowered beings, and he can't. And that's not even his fault. No matter how strong a human gets, they're gonna have some limitations in almost all cases, especially against people like that. So, and the one thing I will be interested in, because eventually we all know this is gonna happen. We know Falcon is gonna get the shield eventually. We're not idiots. That's gonna
Yep.
happen, and he's gonna be a Captain America without powers, just like John Walker. So the question becomes, how does he deal with those kind of challenges? Because I'm sure he's going to face some of them. I mean, because John Walker, just talking physically alone, he's probably before the serum at least, he's probably right where Sam is, if not even stronger. Who knows? He
Yeah.
probably is, right?
The thing that separates Walker and Sam is their character.
Yes.
Really. Their ability to handle tense situations. It's very clear that Walker doesn't have that capability. It's very clear that Sam does. Sam is more like Steve than Walker is. Much more like Steve than Walker is. Like Walker's like the opposite of Steve. Okay? Steve was the skinny not power hungry, just wanted to help out his country at the beginning of the first Captain America movie. John Walker, before taking the serum, is like the best soldier ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
supposed to be like the best soldier ever, and like they're not alike in any way. So besides their hair. So
Well,
uh,
because that's not what the serum is about. Is that the serum should be given again, like we learned in the first Captain America movie, to someone that deserves it morally. But
yep,
and not to say that Walker again was necessarily a bad person, but he had not gone through many of the things Steve did to prove his worth. Because again, like we talked about this before, the one example that I love that they mentioned is with the grenade. Steve jumps on it, risks his life, and they talk about how John Walker did the same thing, quote unquote, but it was part of training and he had a protective helmet on or something. And, it's like, well, that's not the same thing. he did not put his life on the line. And the question,
Steve didn't know it was a drill
no, not at
and
all.
literally just jumped on the grenade. That was like his first instinct was to protect others around him.
That's what I'm saying. So, the question becomes, would Walker be willing to put his life on the line in a scenario like that? I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe. I'm not going to say no or yes because I'm not totally sure. Because again, he seemed like an honorable soldier, but we don't really know everything about his past. So it's kind of just speculation. But it's an interesting thing for sure. I would love to continue to learn more about his past just because I would love to know who he was as a soldier more prior to becoming this Captain America wannabe that everybody hates.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, before this, he's pretty good dude. He seems like a good dude. He's got people that care about him, as we saw at the beginning of episode 2. He was the nice guy, but like this situation can drive a mere mortal insane, I guess you can say. Like you're dealing with some crazy stuff that most soldiers don't go through. So like I don't know. I think I just think that the situation has driven him to a state of absolute power hungriness that like he's just lost it, and obviously we see him lose it at the end, and like there's a descent into madness for him, and obviously he's going to become U.S. agent, and also Steve was very much against the U.S. government at times.
Well,
Like,
Walker's the polar opposite of that.
and Walker just basically does what they tell him to, even if it's morally questionable. So,
Yeah,
like, Steve, that's being Captain America isn't about doing everything the government asks you to do. It's about doing what's right, even when
exactly. And that's
people
what
tell you not.
Walker doesn't get. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Sam gets that. Sam was Steve's right hand man, right? So it's just that's kind of Sam. I think Steve, really helped Sam a lot, and Sam was a high moral guy before he met Sam, as we saw. He was a counselor. He was a grief counselor, and so that's why he's so good at talking people down. That's why he almost talked Carly down before Walker interrupted. He was a grief counselor in The Winter Soldier. So I think, you just see from a mental standpoint, I guess you can say, a temperament standpoint, that Sam is much more fit to be Captain America than Walker is. Walker is more fit to be just a regular soldier, does his tours of duty, goes home, gets the medals of honor, goes home, and lives a normal life. But Sam can actually handle being an Avenger, and even without the super soldier serum. And in this episode, we saw John Walker take the super soldier serum. Well, we actually didn't see him take it, but we know he took it.
Yes.
And when he kicked that guy through the wall down the stairs, that's when you knew. Yep, he did it. And now he's got the powers of Captain America, I guess you can say, but he doesn't have the temperament, and that's going to be very, very dangerous, as we saw at the end of the episode. And
Well, the thing is about John Walker, Battlestar was really his voice of reason, and that's gone now. Without him, he doesn't have anybody to really talk him down that he truly trusts. So,
and his hype man too.
Yeah, I mean that's a bonus, but in the end, that's a huge loss for him, both emotionally and just as a soldier in general. He's not going to be able to distinguish what's right from wrong as well as before now, and you mix in the serum's effects with that, it's a clear recipe for disaster. And he's going to go on a total vendetta after Carly, I'm assuming. But my point, the thing I'm going to be very interested in is how does the government respond to what Walker did at the end of the episode? How are they gonna see this? Because this is gonna go viral for sure. I mean, we had everybody there recording him. But did he decapitate him, or did he just like go through the chest, or they didn't show? So I kind of have to guess, but I I feel like he took this dude's head off, and if that's the case, I don't know how he comes back from that in the government's eyes. I'm gonna be honest.
I think he got him in the neck.
Either way, if it's in the neck, that could have taken his head off.
Yes, and you got to remember he's a superhuman
That's my
now.
point.
So, chances of survival very low. Oh no, that one. Maybe he just took a nap. Huh? No.
That's a bloody nap.
Permanent nap. We forgot to mention like the conversation that Carly and Sam had, and you get an idea of, Sam's like, yo, I'm on your side, but like, stop killing people, please.
Yeah.
Like you're doing a noble thing, but you're also doing it completely wrong.
Well, because everyone's been talking about, not everybody, but there's been quite a few people I've seen that have said, Carly is such a boring antagonist, and I'm like, well, she's not really
an antagonist.
True antagonist. I mean, she's in an antagonist role at the moment, in a way, but she's not just a villain at all. In fact, if I had to give it a guess right now, I'd expect by the end of the series that she's going to end up helping Sam. I mean, if I had to give it a guess at least, because she clearly is not a bad person. She wants to do the right thing, and she has a good moral compass. She just is going about this in an entirely wrong way, and she needs some guidance from somebody like Sam, who has been through it all and could help her become what she needs to be. So
yeah, she blew some people up.
Yeah,
so
for real. So I think that the big thing we're going to be looking at in these next 2 episodes is her development as she hopefully becomes closer to Sam and Bucky. And again, we have a big cameo coming next episode. We talked about this a little bit last episode. We've been hearing more about it since, and I'm very excited to see
DiCaprio.
No.
That was. Do you have any guesses, by the way, of who that is?
No, but what upsets me is apparently someone guessed it correctly on Twitter.
Oh, really?
According to Lizzie, I think it's Lizzie Hall, someone that works with Charles Murphy, I think. I can't think of her name though, but she knows who it is, and she said that someone did correctly guess who it is that tweeted at her. So someone guessed, to clarify, not the character but the actor.
I'm looking forward to that. Let's not get our expectations super high.
No, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but.
And obviously, this is probably a small role as well.
I think it might be someone somewhat significant. They just won't have a big role in this series necessarily. I could be wrong. I don't want to hype anyone up. I have a feeling it's going to be someone fairly important, especially because it's apparently an actor that's very big. I don't see a big actor committing to a small one and done cameo for the MCU. I could be wrong, but that just doesn't seem logical.
Yeah. How significant are we talking here, though?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Are we talking like
they said significant award-winning actor?
Significant award-winning actor. Oh man, I'm trying to theorize here. My guess is DiCaprio. If I'm wrong, suck it.
Okay.
So
you're wrong, but
yeah, I'm right though. So.
No. I don't think we ever see him in the MCU. I'm gonna be honest, but I would love it. I just don't think it ever happens.
Somebody got to give him a role, man.
Unless he wants to pop up as Spider-Man in Doctor Strange, that'd be funny.
Yeah, let's just get DiCaprio in a role somewhere. He would have been a good Two-Face.
I'm trying to think. I mean, this episode again was mainly focused on John Walker. We already talked about Sam and his dynamic with Carly, and I will say it was brilliant writing that the guy that Walker killed was a big Captain America fan, man. That's so tragic. I mean, that makes that moment all the more impactful that he was talking about earlier in the episode how Captain America was the symbol of hope and how that was his hero as a kid, and he was literally just slaughtered by Captain America's shield. Like think about that for a second. Like that's such an impactful moment when you consider that. That's brilliant writing by them. Good job there.
Yeah, uh, that is a good moment. He get killed by someone that you used to look up to. Well, the new guy who is copycatting as someone you look up to. Uh, then you get killed by that guy. Not only did you get killed by that guy fucking murdered your ass. That dude, you got decapitated by Captain America.
That's one hell of a way to go.
That's
bad.
That's a painful way to go. I don't envy him.
No, I do not.
So, and you got all the people with the phones, and like you said earlier, how do you think the government's going to react? Personally, I think that the government is going to react as such. I think.
You think they sweep it under the rug?
That they're going to sweep it under the rug.
They might. They very well might. I wouldn't be shocked at all because the show is
or they'll say that the guy was a terrorist or something.
I was gonna say the show is very government centric in the way that they show the flaws in the government and how corrupt it could be. So I do think it's very possible they touch on that in that way. That'd be very smart of them to do. And we saw from the trailer already that because I saw a couple people theorize, what if after that Walker is kind of done, he just gives up the shield because he realizes he's in the wrong. But no, I knew that wasn't going to happen. And the trailer made it all
he's too
more
power
clear.
Hungry for that.
Yeah, he's way too power hungry. And after taking the serum, his mind is not where it needs to be. He is in his own world right now, and he is not giving up that shield without a fight. So I think that when we get that inevitable Bucky and Sam versus John Walker fight, it's going to be one hell of a fight and an amazing payoff. I can't wait, man. And I'm excited to see because it sounds like that just from previous things we've heard that I'm not sure if it's still going to happen, but could Isaiah Bradley maybe come into the fold and fight? I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm going to come and fight. All right? I'm a super soldier.
That's not going to help, Tom.
All right. I take it back then. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I hope they do something with the Bradley characters.
They will, for sure. Especially because Eli Bradley is going to be one of the young Avengers, guaranteed. So we're gonna get that eventually. Really, so far in Phase 4, just everything we've heard about the shows coming up, they're basically introducing all of the young Avengers in this phase, pretty much. I mean, it's a long list, so there's clearly intent. There's clear intent to set that up, and it's going to be a big part of the phase as well as the following phase. I'm not really sure when Phase 4 officially ends, but they never said. But I'd guess probably it's like 2023 is probably the end of that phase officially. But I'm just guessing. I don't really know.
Who do you think my favorite young Avenger is?
I know who your favorite young Avenger is.
Wiccan.
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's not.
You're right, it's not. Moving on. Let's see. Zemo escaped. And he's just like butter, man. He keeps slipping away from these people.
Yeah, he is one sly guy, and I gotta say that my friends keep saying that there's no way Zemo doesn't become a villain by the end of the show, and I'm telling them, like, he's not gonna be a villain in this show. Like, he has his own agenda, yeah, and he has his own plan, but he's not gonna be like a main villain. No, he's in this show. He's gonna be primarily helping Sam and Bucky. As for his future beyond the show, very different story. He's not going to remain helpful forever, but for this show, yeah, I think that's going to be his role pretty much the whole way, honestly. And I'm very intrigued to see how they handle him at the very end of the show, because I don't think he's going back to jail for sure, and there's no way that happens.
Zemo is relatively similar to Carly in the sense that they have very strong ideals of what the world should be, but they go about it terribly. Uh,
Well,
and
in that way, yes, but they also clearly have disagreements, like
yes,
quite a bit.
yes,
I mean,
Carly
her
took
existence
the
is basically,
the
yeah,
Flag Smashers take the serum. Zemo destroys the serum, right?
yeah.
Like he's completely against super soldiers and gods and
That's what
anyone
I'm
above.
saying. Like,
Yeah,
Carly's not like that. She doesn't
no,
care.
no, she doesn't.
Yeah.
So like they're similar in the way that they're not true. Well, Zemo's pretty much a villain, but like they're
He's a villain. He's just not a villain for this series. In the
yeah.
series, it's not his role.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm not.
Nice.
I don't have anything other to elaborate on that point because I'm dumb. So, Firestar died.
Battlestar.
Battlestar. Oh shit, I got it mixed up with Firestar from the Teen Titans. I was watching the Teen Titans show last night. No, wait, no,
Were
I was
you? Oh,
watching
I actually just watched Teen Titans versus Justice League the other day by coincidence, so that's funny.
I got it confused with Starfire. There's a Firestar in the series Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, if I remember correctly. Either way, Battlestar. He won't be getting that name anytime soon, as he's dead.
Well, yeah, we already talked about Battlestar. I mean, again, that was his voice of reason. That's gone, and this episode that was a big loss. Honestly, I liked his character a lot. Like him too. He was a very good guy too. Like he was not a bad person at all. And I'm very interested in my friends pointed this out too, how after Carly slaughters him, even though it was by accident, seemingly, like everyone just stopped. Like they were stunned at what happened. My question is, was that because they're scared of what the hell John Walker's gonna do to them, or did they feel remorse, or like what was up with their reaction to all that?
I think they're like, oh shit. They're like, oh shit. If we don't get the fuck out of here, he's gonna murder us.
Okay, so yeah, you think it's he's gonna kill us route. Got it.
Yeah, it's the like, and also I think they do feel bad for what just happened, and they're like, shit, we better clear as soon as possible. Uh, so like little bit of mixed emotions, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
Differing emotions, I guess you can say. I can't believe I got Firestar confused with Battlestar, but
It's okay.
that's I don't think that's happened to me before, but whatever. They've got star at the end, so I think it's okay. Uh, you know, Battlestar's dead, and I'm very sad. And like, probably shouldn't have killed him. Carly, evil.
Yeah, yeah. It's not ideal, and now we're kind of just we're gonna have to wait and see what happens next. That pretty much sums up most of the episode, right? I mean, and now also like I guess we can touch on the Wakandans were awesome. They were
Mhm.
really, really awesome. The fight scene with them was so cool, and I was when she took off Bucky's arm, that was so sick. And I didn't at first I was like, how the hell? And I was like, oh well, duh. They gave him the arm. Of course, they know how it works and operates, but it was just a very cool scene, very cool fight, and I'm very interested to see because the Wakandans are going to obviously have a big role in general moving forward in Marvel. I'm intrigued to see what that untitled Wakandan show is going to be about, and I thought it might be interesting if they brought Bucky into that show maybe as White Wolf. That could be pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe. Depends on Sebastian Stan's schedule, I guess.
I just have
Uh,
no idea what the show's going to be about yet. Of course, I'm just speculating, but because people love Bucky's character. I mean, he's a fan favorite, and obviously you might have to introduce maybe a new character or two in whatever Wakanda show you do. It depends on really what it's about again, but they have a lot of options for that show, and Ryan Coogler's involved, so I'm not worried about it. I'm so excited with all these shows coming, man. It's really awesome. Loki next too. That's gonna be a friggin' blast.
Mhm. Oh yeah, Loki's gonna be freaking sick, man. Initially, I wasn't super in on Loki on the show, but
I'm all in.
yeah, after seeing the trailers, I'm in definitely. That's gonna be really fun. Uh, so that's gonna be awesome. All these shows look really cool. You see Moon Knight is just about to get underway as well. Uh, so yeah, very exciting. And don't forget, Miss Marvel's also coming out.
Yep, Miss
Uh,
Marvel towards the end of the year, along with
hmm
Hawkeye.
And they're also going to be Miss Marvel's also going to be in Captain Marvel 2, and that's about to get underway as well. So we're doing pretty good with these shows coming in. Uh, She-Hulk's getting underway too, if I remember correctly.
Um, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's supposed to start around the same time as Moon Knight. So yeah, that should be gearing up production now, if not extremely soon. And I think that because originally they said that production was supposed to start on Moon Knight during March, but I think that was more pre-production as opposed to filming
Mm,
because we hadn't really heard anything about actual filming that whole month, and now we're getting the first pictures of Oscar Isaac with Ethan Hawke, which is again awesome. We get him as a villain of the series, although we have no idea who the villain is. We just know he is the villain, which is awesome. So that show's my most anticipated, I think. Still, Moon Knight is crazy good. He's an awesome character, and that's just it's a great cast. So as long as they have good writers and the action is what I think it's gonna be a top tier Marvel show slash project.
I agree. I agree. Moon Knight is the bee's knees, you know. So you, it's just cool to see a character like that. That's kind of a ground level character that's getting some shine, and like She-Hulk's also a pretty ground level character, and Hawkeye seems like a pretty grounded show as well. I like that they're doing these kind of more grounded projects as opposed to like, but they're still, you still have room for the big cosmic projects, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, Eternals, stuff like that. But I've always been more partial to like these grounded characters like Daredevil, Punisher, Ghost Rider, even Spider-Man's a grounded character. You know,
Yeah,
I just like these more grounded stories better. But
I like like I like them all. It's just that we haven't had much of the grounded stuff in the MCU as much, just
yeah,
because there hasn't been as much room for that. And also, as you get into those later phases of Marvel, they were getting into the more mystic and space side of stuff, which is fine because you needed to do that. That's essential. It's just you start moving away from the grounded stuff. But now that you've gone through that whole phase of stuff, and with the introduction of Disney Plus shows, it's very easy to now introduce the more grounded projects in whatever fashion they want. And we're not just going to get one, we're going to get plenty. I mean, Ghost Rider is definitely on the way at some point in Marvel, and that's going to be a very down to earth show in a way. Although it obviously has the magic and mystic elements, but I mean more in the action side of things. And then Daredevil, I'm sure he'll get his own show eventually. You got Moon Knight and so many more. I mean, Blade is going to be grounded. It's a long list.
yeah. Just like, can I get Daredevil back, please? Like, I would.
Eventually, it's more about when.
I just like. Do you know what I would do to get that show back?
I just really would. I know it's not going to happen. I just wish they could make the show canon. I think it's stupid not to, honestly, but I know they're not going to do it.
Hmm. Hmm.
They
It,
really should. Because like it makes the character so much more interesting when he comes into Marvel and you have this whole backstory and lore of him already, and you know this is that same guy. He's been through all of this, been through that, and then it makes his character that much more compelling then. Well, let's hit restart. So I hope that at the very least, if Feige doesn't like certain elements, that he just picks and chooses and keeps most of it. as opposed to just doing a reboot of that character. I think that would be a huge mistake, but I guess we'll have to wait on that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We all know that, you know, he's gonna be in Spider-Man, so that's very exciting. We've also heard that he's in She-Hulk too,
Hmm.
from Skylar Schuler, and that makes sense because that's a legal comedy show, and why wouldn't Matt Murdock show up one of those episodes? So that makes sense.
He'll be popping up over the next couple years, yeah.
Yeah,
Projects.
yeah, he'll be like you said, he'll be popping up a little bit, and then he'll probably get his own show or movie.
It's just a matter of when they can fit that in, because they already have their entire slate planned for the next 2 years. So there's really no clear spot to put him in for his own show just yet. But maybe sometime in 2023, maybe, because 2022 is pretty much booked already all the way through. So they're gonna have to squeeze it in probably the year after.
Squeeze it in. Squeeze it in. That's all I have to say about that. Squeeze it in. Back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I mean, there's not much more to discuss.
There's not much more to say. But I do agree
more
that...
best episode. We're on
best
the same page
episode of the series. Wyatt Russell is killing it. Great scene by Sebastian Stan at the beginning. Very good episode. Very good. And this show, I think if it finishes strong, that this could be considered one of the better MCU projects out there. Because
I'm not, unlike WandaVision, I'm not worried about them wrapping this up. Like I'm sure that they're gonna wrap this up properly, because they're gonna have 2+ hours to wrap this story up.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have, and there's not like a crazy amount for them to wrap up where I'm worried about it either. Because I mean, originally I remember that was one thing you were concerned about, but like there's not a ton left if they're smart about it, because Carly's already clearly transitioning towards becoming a hero, not a hero maybe, but at least towards Sam's side. Walker made his turn for the worst already, so that's done. And Zemo, I don't think he's going to have a big character shift throughout this show, so I don't really think there's a ton left to do where it's not possible over 2 hours. In fact, I think it's very easy to do over 2 hours. They just got to play their cards right.
Yeah, like you said, there's plenty of time to wrap this up. So, I'm feeling good about, the ending of this show. And we saw some clips of these next 2 episodes in the new trailer, and it looks really good. I'm just looking forward to it. I want to see who the power broker is. I want to see, who... Do you have any idea of who the power broker is, by the way?
My only guess as of now is Thunderbolt Ross.
That'd be pretty cool.
To me, that makes the most sense.
You know what would be cooler?
No.
Kingpin.
No.
I know. Too soon.
It'd be fucking great, but no.
I know. Can you imagine not using Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin again?
I hope they do. I really do.
Couldn't be me.
Let's hope Feige is not dumb.
Feige, bring him back, please. Thank you. Yeah.
If they were smart, honestly, they would just bring everybody back except Iron Fist, maybe. Like the rest, I like everyone else, honestly. I do. Even Iron Fist, I like. I just understand that his story has a lot of problematic aspects. So I get recasting him, but the rest of the Defenders, I literally have no problem with.
Yeah, and also I would have no problem keeping Finn Jones either. So he's a good actor. They fucked him over with the material, man. Like that.
Yeah, but he was decent. I thought he was fine as an actor.
He tried his best in a show that really gave him zilch. Really.
Exactly.
And,
so they were really spot on.
Suit.
Yes, they did not.
And that was a big problem with the fans. Let's be honest. That was a big problem. People wanted to see the Iron Fist suit. The Iron Fist suit is dope, right?
The castings, honestly, on the Netflix shows were always so dope, dude. They killed every casting. I mean, especially for the villains. Oh my god, I loved every single fucking casting, especially in Jessica Jones season 1 with Kilgrave, dude. David Tennant,
David
holy
Tennant.
shit,
Yeah.
he killed that role.
Mhm.
He was such a presence, man. Like, that's one of my favorite Marvel villains because of him.
I get it. Yeah. So like, you're right. Those shows were pretty much impeccably cast. You know, Bernthal as the Punisher as well is just chef's kiss. That is just
Oh my
perfect.
god, he might be my favorite. I love
Mm.
him that much.
Oh, wrong. But
I said
he
favorite.
he's like second or third for me.
Is D'Onofrio second, and or?
Oh, that's good. Wilson Bethel is Bullseye as well. It's just
Okay, yeah, he was great too. I think Berthal was better than him, but I will say he was also a great
yeah.
casting.
Let's go in terms of. I can't believe we just segued into a Netflix Marvel discussion, but
Yeah, I guess we're doing this now. I guess we'll label the episode, Falcon review / Netflix Marvel talk.
yeah. Like also like the side characters that aren't villains, like Eldon Henson as Foggy, and
Yep.
like Deborah Ann Wool as Karen. That's just pretty impeccable casting. So like they just did a great job of casting. Even like Wesley, Kingpin's right hand man,
Yes.
and Vanessa, Kingpin's wife.
Mhm.
Like just top to bottom, it's all great casting. I think Cox will always be my favorite. Well,
No, that's
but
fair. He might be my favorite too. For me, it's just him and Bernthal. I love them both.
you gotta remember that like Charlie Cox had to like literally like he was the first Netflix Daredevil show. I mean, he was the first Netflix show, right? Daredevil was the first show. That was the
Well,
one
yeah,
that
without
kicked this
him,
off.
there's no Netflix
If
universe at all.
he didn't work and D'Onofrio didn't work and that show didn't work, you know, nobody would give a shit about the other shows. And that show is like the best thing Marvel's done in a long time. And like his performance in that is just remarkable. He has to carry the show.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we talk about D'Onofrio is not in the series as much as you think.
Well, because in season 2, he wasn't even there much at all, outside
He
of
wasn't even that.
couple
Yeah,
appearances.
exactly. In season 3, you get a lot more of Kingpin, but like at the same time, it's still Cox carrying the show. It's still Matt Murdock's journey through and through. It's very much focused on Matt and his rebirth, and so and Charlie Cox has to carry that for it's like 12. It was 12, 13 episodes, and he has to.
Yeah.
And you have to carry that for like an hour each. An hour, 13 episodes, 39 episodes in total. So, his performance in that is just the best. Without Cox, I just can't see another actor playing that character. I don't know.
feel, man, I love the Netflix shows so much. I just hope Feige gives them most of them at least, as if he gives us at least all of them minus Luke Cage and Iron Fist a chance. Although I'd love to give those two actors a chance too. I'll be at least content.
Luke
And if
Cage
he
did a great job. Mike
he
Colton's a
did.
very good actor.
He was awesome as Luke Cage, and he had the physicality down too,
Yeah,
which is awesome
absolutely.
because he was a decent actor. He was big and strong, and he just looked and felt like Luke Cage. I couldn't have asked for more out of him as an actor, but just looking
Inhumans is
across
not
him.
canon.
Oh yeah, we know that.
Yeah,
but
we just completely wipe Inhumans off. Nobody even bats an eye. Nobody will even. Nobody cares.
If Feige is ballsy, he will make the Netflix shows canon. If he's ballsy, because it would be a ballsy move. I get it, because he's working with characters that he's gonna write the stories for, but it would just make the fans so much happier. I think I really do believe that, and again, it makes
Feige
the
is a
characters.
people pleaser.
Oh yeah, and not just that. It's honestly it would confuse a lot of people. I think I'm gonna be honest. Like if
Honestly,
you're bringing back.
Yeah,
Like you don't want to bring back all these characters and rewrite them all, because that's just gonna make it, especially the same actors and actresses, because at that point, people are not gonna know what the hell is that's going on, at least for the casuals, and there's a lot of casuals out there, so they're just gonna be like, oh, what? How does
Also,
that
like,
work?
just do it. Just do it. And you know, the shows that kind of tailed off at the end, like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage,
Yeah, ignore those
like,
last seasons.
no,
I
no,
don't care.
no, no, no. Don't even
Oh no?
necessarily ignore them. What you do is you just take those shows and you make better seasons with
Well,
better
that too.
writers. And
No,
you
you're
get
right.
you hire some dope ass writers. Maybe you even find a way to bring David Tennant back or something.
Imagine.
And you do dope ass stories.
Yeah.
And you just continue the show, you know, because every television show has its ups and downs. You know, so like you just improve upon it. There's nothing in those shows that's like irredeemable, if that makes sense. You know,
I have a feeling that if they end up reviving any of those shows, it's definitely going to be on Hulu, just because of what
that's
the.
fine. Perfectly
I'm just
fine.
saying, just because of what we're hearing about, like the
Well,
Deadpool show.
remember, Disney Plus is adding an adult section.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that the Disney Star is not in the U.S. for a
No,
while.
it's gonna come though, and like by the time it comes, I mean, I think that's when you can get those shows in production.
I mean, hopefully, just because I
Can
would
you?
again, if they bring those shows in, it would be I think Marvel would officially like be at its highest point ever in terms of popularity, just because that would be the biggest move Feige could possibly make. I mean, if he announced, imagine just him coming to San Diego Comic Con and like, we are bringing back all of the shows, and then the fans just erupt. Like, it would be unlike anything else.
Yeah, and like also you gotta. Can you imagine like they're obviously bringing Disney Star to America at some point.
Yes, at some point.
So can you imagine to kick off Disney Star, their new adult kind of section of the Disney Plus service? Can you imagine to kick off, you get a brand new Marvel show to watch? That's a great way to do it. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
great way to kick it off.
you're right.
That's one of your biggest IPs. And you know, it's been proven that mature Marvel shows work. Uh, it's been, you know, Netflix literally showed you that. Daredevil is literally like the most watched Netflix show ever. So like this works. Like you can do a mature Marvel show. So just do it. Honestly, it's basically free money. It's proven to work, and especially with Kevin Feige's name under it now,
Oh yeah.
like and with legitimate MCU connections, like where you can actually feasibly see Daredevil with Spider-Man one day when
Oh,
we're
don't
actually
do me.
it,
Don't do that.
yeah, but you get what I'm saying, right? You got, you know, legitimate, these characters are very much in the MCU now, and like not offshoots, I guess you can say, not cast to the
Mhm.
side. So that's the dream right there, man.
Yeah.
These characters belong together, and those actors deserve to play those roles in the MCU. I'm so happy that Cox is coming back.
You're right. So you know what, Foggy? That is our mission for you. Get them all back. Make
Just
them canon.
just bring him back, make him canon. Even I'm okay with even making Iron Fist canon. You just have to, you know,
I'm okay
clean
with it too. It's
just
just,
clean some stuff up, man.
but again, I can even live with them making a couple things not canon. Like if they said, you know what, we won't do Iron Fist and have his show be canon. And even if they said that for Luke Cage, again, I can live with that because I love Luke Cage, but it's not a character where I'm like, you know what, I can't imagine another one. But the rest of them, that's how I feel.
Mm.
So really, I would like to see them all back and have it all be canon, but I understand if Feige decides to go in a different route for a couple of them. But for the most part, though, I would not fuck with it because there's no reason to mess with it. It doesn't affect continuity at all, so who cares? It doesn't touch the continuity of the MCU at all. If anything, it kind of helped it with the couple times they mentioned the attack on New York, which they do like a
Yeah,
couple times in the
that's how
next.
they were able to afford their office.
That's my point. So with that in mind, it's like there's really no issues with it at all.
Yeah, they need to do they need to do, you know, just fucking make it canon. Who cares? Just do it.
I gotta have a talk with Feige, man. I gotta talk to him.
Can you imagine me and Feige in the same room?
I would.
And
Oh God. I would shit myself.
Like, no. Imagine me and Feige
Oh,
in the
you?
same room. Like, can you imagine? What do you think I would say?
You'd probably just keep saying Daredevil with a nervous twitch. Just
Yep.
keep saying it on repeat.
Like,
And then
no,
you'll say Charlie Cox, except Charlie won't come out. You'll just say Cox, and he'll get really confused, and then he'll kick you out.
no. I locked the door.
Oh, you locked the door.
Yeah, I locked the door. So, like, here's what I would be. Here's what it would be. We're sitting an uncomfortable distance away from each other, and it's just me yelling across the room. Bring Charlie Cox back. Bring Charlie Cox back. And Kevin's like, who the hell are you? Please let me leave. I said, I'm not letting you leave until you agree. And then, depending on when he agrees, I'll let him out. And then, got Daredevil
You know what?
back.
That's a good idea. Maybe we should try that.
His comments about Charlie Cox and the rest of the Netflix characters are pretty hilarious. Like the fact that he clearly knows something and he just can't say it.
It drives me nuts, man. I just gotta know if he can just announce soon that he wants to bring most of them back. You have no idea how happy I'd be. You really don't.
Listen,
I'd be done. My
think
Marvel dreams would be done.
I think if they were honestly rebooting, I think they would have said it. I think they would have just ripped the Band-Aid off.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like I think what Feige did is he's like, we consider everything we do, part of our fair game, and it's very clear that he's doing something with those characters, and he's doing something with those versions of those characters. Charlie Cox is in Spider-Man 3. We've gotten that backed up by two credible sites. So, he knows what he's bringing in and picking and choosing, and maybe we get an Iron Fist reference in Shang-Chi. But yeah, and Jessica Jones, maybe she's in She-Hulk because she's a PI.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a lot they can do. There's a lot of places to introduce these characters. That's not even a concern for me. It's not
Spider-Man
like they're
3 is perfect for Daredevil.
Yeah, you're totally right.
That is the golden opportunity to bring Daredevil in. That is
very
perfect.
simple. Just think off the top of your head. You can very quickly introduce, again, Jessica Jones and She-Hulk if you want. You can bring in Iron Fist and Shang-Chi if you wanted to. Maybe not the first one, but the second one maybe if they want. There's a lot of places to introduce these characters. Bernthal could come into Blade maybe, or a project like that, even Moon Knight. There's a lot of places to introduce these characters that fit tonally and story-wise. So I don't really have an issue with it. I just need Feige to make an announcement one way or another, because if they're not bringing them back, I need to mourn, because I'm going to be very sad. Or rather, if they can't, or if they just don't make a canon, I'm still going to need to mourn, because that basically does everything that we saw in Daredevil.
Yeah, Kevin Feige is going to, I think at least some of these people are coming back. I don't know if all of them will come back, but I know at least some of them are coming back, specifically Cox.
And I believe that we'll get Cox, Bernthal, Ritter's
coming back.
D'Onofrio, and that's it for my definites, I think. I could be wrong, but those are the ones I expect back.
When Kevin Feige made those comments about those Netflix characters could come back, Kristen Ritter liked to tweet about it. So she wants to come back, and you know what? Hell yeah, come back, Kristen. You did a great job. I'm very excited. Very excited to have her back. Very obviously Charlie Cox coming back. In the movie theater, I'm gonna cry. Hope you know that.
I know.
I wish that you and I would get to see that movie together.
I know.
Because you would see a man just shrivel down to a boy and be a little boy and just cry his eyes out. That's gonna be a very emotional day. Yeah. So that's baseball season.
It would be pretty funny. I would love to see that movie with you. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, just you would see a little That's the one movie that I'm not spoiling for myself. Usually, a lot of the time, I just read the spoilers because I don't care too much. I've never been huge on concealing the secrets, I guess. But like Spider-Man 3, I still call it Spider-Man 3, even though we got the title. I'm not freaking. I'm not looking at any spoilers. I'm going into that cold. Like,
I don't even think there's gonna be many spoilers, honestly.
I mean, there'll be screenings and everything. Like, I'm just gonna go into it and like see it and just like okay, and just like react to what's happening. So, and then I don't want to spoil myself for the Batman either. So, those are the two movies I don't want to know much about. Just I'll watch the trailers, but like, I'm not gonna actively go on social media or Reddit and look at the spoilers that I wasn't supposed to know. I want to see these things for myself. But I do have one last question about these Netflix characters, specifically Daredevil. If I can ask that.
Yeah.
Do you think, I want to put this on record, do you think that Daredevil is going to be in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer in at least one of them?
I have a feeling that he actually might be the person they don't show. I could be wrong, but I think that they're definitely going to show Toby and Andrew. That's obvious because they're not going to promote They're not going to promote the multiverse movie and not tease that those two are going to be in it, because that's going to be where all the profits come from. As soon as they make the big announcement, the movie's going to go viral, like in a way we couldn't even imagine. And then everybody's going to come to theaters and it's going to break records. It's going to be crazy. So there's no way they don't announce that before the movie's released. I think that's a given. But Cox, they don't need to announce him. They don't need to.
I actually do think that Cox is going to be in the trailer.
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I just don't think they need to do it.
Because I think you're going to get the scene at, like, the end of the first movie. I mean, at the end of the first trailer, like, towards the end. And it's like, and a lawyer walks up. Peter Parker, stop right there. Don't say a word. I'm your attorney. And then the camera pans. And you recognize that voice. And there he is. It's Matt Murdock. It's Charlie Cox.
I need this movie.
Obviously, they're shooting they shot a courtroom scene as well. It's very obvious that Peter's going to be, in court. You might need a lawyer. Usually when you go to court, you need a lawyer. Peter Parker's going to need a lawyer. Let's make it Matt Murdock.
I still really hope he suits up. I feel like he won't, but I hope we get lucky and he does.
Oh, man. Dude.
Imagine.
Oh, no. You can't just put that in my brain like that.
I just did.
That's like my dream, bro. That's my dream. So, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that sums it up for now. Hopefully we'll get some more news and some more, and we'll have obviously our Falcon review soon. So we'll have plenty to talk about.
This was our Falcon review.
Yes, I meant the next one.
Oh.
So got two more.
Yeah, two more. We're almost there. We're almost at the finish, and then we'll have May to kind of chill, I guess, because there's not much going on in May. But then June kicks off Loki, and we'll do Loki reviews, which is very exciting.
We are probably going to get some trailers in the next month or two, in general.
Yes, Spider-Man trailer is definitely going to drop sometime soon.
Because think about it, trailers usually come out 6 months before with Marvel, and we got Shang-Chi. Honestly, is probably going to come this month. Like, I think we're going to get that trailer very soon. Eternals probably next month maybe.
Yeah, definitely not too far. Especially with the vaccines coming and everything, it's like these dates are actually going to be met. Like, I think people are going to start going back to the theaters. So like, we're looking good. We're looking good, man. I think this is actually I think these dates are pretty set. Honestly, I think we're good.
Dates aren't good. I'm very confident in these dates now. Before, I was a little worried, like before they did the most recent shift, but now that they just shifted the two movies, I think
that was the final shift.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think
Yeah.
we're going to see anything else. So I'm very excited now that I can anticipate in relief and just wait for these movies to come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I wish we got hit with the Venom sooner, though.
Yeah, it sucks you got to wait so long for Venom, but you know what? It's going to be a good payoff, I think. Andy Serkis is a guy I trust, and it's great casting in the movie with who's playing Cletus Cassidy again?
Woody Harrelson.
Yes, Woody Harrelson, who I loved in quite a few movies, including War of the Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he's an awesome actor. This is going to be a great year for comic book movies. I wish the Batman dropped this year. It was supposed to come out in October.
It's so funny. We talk about how awesome this year is with comic book movies when next year is going to shit on it so much.
Yeah. I wish
next year we're going to eat. Like, it's going to make up for everything we've been through with COVID.
Morbius, Doctor Strange, Thor, Batman, Black Panther 2, you know, what else?
Captain Marvel 2.
Captain Marvel 2.
And that's not even counting the rest of the DC slate, because you got Black Adam, Aquaman 2.
Yeah. And like Flash comes out 2023, right?
Yeah, Flash is 2022.
Oh shit. What? Oh my god.
This is what I'm saying.
This is crazy.
And you have all the shows too. I mean, you got Moon Knight, you got She-Hulk, you got Secret Invasion. Like, it's a crazy slate.
Oh my god. This is a boy's dream now.
It is. It's going to be like genuinely between 10 to 15 legit excitable projects. Like, it's pretty awesome.
Rest in peace to my wallet.
I'm going to be broke, dude. I'm going to have to buy all these on 4K and I'm going to be fucked.
This is tough. TUFF, tough.
Tough.
But yeah, we're in for a ride, man. Very excited. Very excited. This is we picked a great time to start this podcast because this is going to be a golden era in comic book movies and shows, and obviously we would have preferred if there wasn't a deadly pandemic that caused this.
Yeah.
I prefer life, but you know, obviously this is the result of what's happened, and now we only can move forward, it's an exciting time to be a comic book fan, excited to finish up Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then take that month in May to review some trailers, some upcoming stuff, and then Loki drops in June, and then we go from there. So yeah.
Well, I think that sums it up. This has been great as always, Tom, but until next time, this has been another great episode of Cape Time. See you, everybody.
Peace.